You know, I can always tell when I'm going to have a bad day. Wake up now, it's a little bit rainy today, so I was a little bit down in the dump. You know how it's like. Sunday morning, pouring rain. It could have been that, but just something was gnawing at me all day, and I can always tell when I'm going to have a bad day. Always. So I got here tonight, oil check, I watched him race. It looked like it was partly maybe a little bit allergies, but a little bit overmatched also. You know, he's got it's so frustrating to watch that take place with the Pacers, that if you just don't have a 53 pacer, you can't compete in the grassroots level. Love of God, it's really, really difficult to watch. So Olechek is going to have to join Marshall Zukov in the Prospect Series. You know, to bring these horses around to be competitive, decent overnight horses, it's really tough, you know, to train a horse down and then pay money to race them for $7,500. It's really, really difficult to do. But, you know, if we believe in Olechek as a 3-year-old, which, you know, I'm going to take in all the information. How'd he scope? What's his blood look like? I talked to Jody a little bit about him. Jody said, geez, he felt really good, and then come out of the last turn and he was empty. Is that his airway? Or was he just tired? Could he just not pace with them? I'll get to the bottom of that one way or another. And then Arches Rainbow, again, you know, Paul let her dance down the backstretch. I wish he just let them up. This filly's always been a fighter. Her whole life has been a fighter. You know, I'll be there next week. Not that he just doesn't know her, right? He doesn't know her. I think if he lets them up into her bridle around the last turn, I think she fights on down the lane, and they probably don't beat her. Instead, now 2 weeks in a row, she's been bested at the wire, and I don't like that, and I'm sure Paul doesn't like that, obviously, either. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she goes out and, you know, they beat her anyway. I think she's becoming a better horse, but I don't want to see her get beat. I know nobody wants to see her get beat. So I said to Harry, you know, next weekend in Sarnia, I think I'm home. Aren't I on Saturday? Didn't we talk about this? Oh, right, at Ollie's games. Well, if Ollie makes the final, I'm going to go to Ollie's game. If Ollie doesn't make the final, maybe Ollie'd like to come to Sarnia with me for the afternoon. I'm going to go to Hiawatha Horse Park, and I will drive Arches Rainbow if I can. Now, my son's baseball game trumps Arches Rainbow Prospect Series start, but if I can go, I will go and drive Arches Rainbow. It's hard, knowing the entire situation with Arches Rainbow, it's hard not to like her. You know, it's really hard not to like her, and I certainly love the filly and will for quite some time. But I would like to see her win last week and this week. We'll see how she does in the Prospect Series next week. She'll like Hiawatha Horse Park. It's a very good surface. I think she'll really, really like that track. And then it came to me. Now, Smoking Hot Irish Girl's blood was a little off 4 days ago. We've been working hard on it. She warmed up rather well. Now, behind the gate, she did this to me last time. Got a little out of gear, a little steppy. But once I got her settled and, you know, got the bit in her mouth, she was good. So we went out of there. I stuffed Aaron in behind me. You know, the half in a minute, 3/5 or 2/5 or something. But she felt good. A little steppy. Halfway down the backstretch, somebody came to me. I knew it was Billy. I look over. I can hear Billy growling at his horse. He's done. I don't think Aaron can beat me. Now, at this point in the race, getting into the last turn, I'm thinking I'm second at worst. I think I'm a winner. I don't think this one's going to beat me. And then around the last turn, I just waited until she felt like she got her feet under her. I kicked the earplugs out and growled at her. She put a step in, put a couple more steps in, and rolled off. I couldn't believe it. I mean, these are baby trotters. They can do anything. But really, if you would have asked me how the outcome of the race would have been, first or second, I didn't foresee any rough waters ahead. I knew she was putting steps in. She did last week, but she never run before. I was shocked. Now, of course, I got to blame myself. It happened right after I kicked the earplugs out. Now, I believe if I had kicked the earplugs out down the lane, she might have done the same thing. But I don't. Was it her blood? Was her muscle count still a little bit high? Or is there something there that we have to work on? And as I think about it, and I told Jason afterwards, she's done this training a couple of times. Put those shuffles in. What is going on with those? Where are they coming from, and how can we mitigate them? So this is going to bother me for 2 or 3 days. One, the break is going to really, you know, it broke my heart when it happened. It's really going to hurt for the rest of the night. But I need to get a handle on what is going on. This filly, she was a winner tonight. Now, as the night went on, you realized the two best fillies in the division, as far as I can see. At least now we got a good look at the next generation. Now, not all the fillies got to go to the next generation, but most of them were here tonight. Now, most certainly they'll all be in Scioto in 11 days. I think that Chris Lem's filly raced very well, raced better than we did tonight. Now we get rimmed around the first turn and get screwed around before we ended up in behind him. That's a big, beautiful filly, too. I think if I draw inside him and stuff him in the hole, maybe it's the same result. I don't know about tonight, though. I don't know if he would have been in the hole anyway. Great filly. And our filly's a great filly, too. So it's just going to be managing and protecting her all summer long. She's already done well. I mean, gee, she's close in 100,000 after 4 starts. Pretty hard to be upset. Never been out of the top 2 and raced great. But there was one filly before her, and that was Whispering Song. I've touted her. I've been so proud of the filly she's become. I was so excited to race her tonight. I looked at the program. There were some tough ones inside of us, but these are 2-year-old fillies. I was certain she wouldn't run. I went to go to the gate. I looked. The 4's on the run. Another one's on the run. No one's on the gate. Zoom. Crossed over to the front. At that moment, I said to myself, it is over. I knew that Donnie Irvine's filly in behind me was good, so I'm thinking to myself, well, don't get too cocky. You know, the one behind you is still pretty good. But if I can just keep her quiet the whole way, she'll sprint for an 1/8 of a mile. They won't catch her. Donnie, a wily old bugger, a couple of times in the first turn started out of the hole like he was going to push me, right? And he just wanted me to go on. And you do have to go on a bit, because if he does commit to the outside with that big monster he had in behind me, I'm in trouble. If he forces my hand, I got to cut him loose. But I got to make him think that I'm not. So a couple of times I had to get him back in behind. I think we were up there 29 apiece, maybe half in a minute apiece. Now, just as we come to the half, I look over. There's nobody coming. I said, lights were out. No one's home. No power. Oh my God. Well, that's not good. This is not the filly that I just raced 10 days ago. Something's going on. We started in the backstretch. Kurt Suggs coming with this horse. He almost has her headed. You can see her fight back. Yeah, his filly gave up a little bit, but she fought back, and when he come out of the last turn, she's exhausted. She drifts out a little bit. Kurt's filly comes in a bit. I didn't hit him, but he did have to check his filly. Fair is fair. I did interfere with him. And I get tossed. 4th place, 6th. It was a fair setback. And it's not that I didn't veer out into him. She just, you can see her. We come out of the turn, she just is exhausted. She veers out, and just as she does, his filly comes in, he checks her, and he makes a break. It was a fair setback. But I'm more worried about the filly. So Mike wasn't there tonight, can't scope her. But we trained her 5 days ago, and she scoped clean. Perfect. Pristine. So we'll draw her blood tomorrow. I can't believe that filly, I refuse to believe it. Her blood work is going to vindicate her. I can assure you of that. She was put on a track tonight. Smoking Hot Irish Girl was home and cooled out, made the break. And I can say, oh, you shouldn't have pulled the plugs. Why the hell wouldn't I? I pulled them last week. I pulled them in schoolers. I pulled them in training. It's not like she's never had them deployed before and her head fell off. She just made an error. But I want to know what is going on with her. If her blood says, but even her blood, I'll give her that. I'll say, okay, your blood's not perfect. 100% correct. She's done that before. So mechanically, I want that fixed. So that's going to bother me. We're going to work. We have 11 days. We're going to work on that, Jason and I. I'm over here Tuesday. I'm at the Meadows. Wednesday, before we go to Bucyrus, I'm going to work on that filly with Jason. Now, I can't do a whole lot. You're not going to hurt her 72 hours after the race. Can't do that. But I do want to tinker with her shoes a little bit. I will know when she is right. I will know when she feels better. I'm certain of that. So, Smoking Hot Irish Girl made a break. Whispering Song was just tired. And it's 2-year-old filly stuff. We're going to have to work on them. We saw it with High Enterprise the other night. They're just not, you can't expect all the horses to be deep. Sometimes they are shallow. They're just nice race horses. And when you empty them out, when the engine light comes on, it's on. You know, some cars, the gas light comes on and you got like 10, 15, 20 kilometers. Sometimes it's more like 5. And, you know, we'll get to the bottom of what happened with Whispering Song tonight. And Swinging Senorita. She beat fair and square. Those are 2 good fillies. She got to the front, got everything her own way, and I couldn't out-sprint her. And I scored her down, and I knew her hobbles were a little tight. I wasn't changing them, not with the night I had. No. She was going to stay trotting tonight. Did they tire her a little bit? A little bit, but she was not going to beat that filly. She won fair and square. And then got to watch Gandalf the Black make a break tonight. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. I told you guys. I don't want this horse leaving Mohawk. Dougie said, no, he'll get around Georgian. But he did race so good his last start, and Dougie drove him. I'm thinking, oh, okay, Dougie, if you say he'll get around, I guess, but I'm not convinced of it. But Dougie, you stay in this car, young lady. But Dougie was, Ollie, sit down in your seat, sweetheart. But Dougie wasn't there tonight. Bob McClure drove him, and I may as well have just scratched him. I knew as soon as he put a step into the first turn, Bob was going to wheel him off the track. I don't blame him. If you don't know the horse, he gives you a weird feeling. Anyway, that's his last start off Mohawk. He will race at Mohawk for the rest of the year. He will not race one more parimutuel event outside of Mohawk Raceway. And that is that. I said it a month ago. I said it 3 weeks ago. I said it 2 weeks ago. I allowed it because Dougie said he would drive him. But in fairness, Dougie ended up with some big drives in Kentucky. I can't blame him for going there. But that will not happen again. So Gandalf made a break. Olchek raced flat. Whispering Song got beat. Archer's Rainbow got beat. Made a break with Smoking Hot Irish Girl. Whispering Song, clearly flat as a pancake. Swinging Senorita did as good as she could. And Bomb Hugger. 4-horse field, Aki Svanstead makes front. Bye-bye. It's all over. He went a half in 59, a mile in 56. She didn't look awesome. But, I mean, when you're sitting fourth, the 2 fillies in front of her were as good as her. You weren't going to beat Aki's filly off that trip. I knew that as soon as the draw came out. If Bomb Hugger draws 3, that gentleman driving the horse, driving Bomb Hugger, has to push through with her. And could have. But knowing that you drew outside Aki, and Aki's not stupid. It's not like he could blast out of there and let you in behind him. He's not dumb. He knows that Bomb Hugger is as good as he is. Well, maybe. He's just going to go out of there and make sure that everybody lets him go, and that we have to get into the 4-hole. The guy's a smart driver. He's not stupid. Bomb Hugger got all she was going to get tonight. I knew 5 steps out of the gate. Race is over. You're 4th. Unless one makes a break or you get up the inside or something, she's going to be 4th. So my spidey senses from this morning were right. Didn't have a great day. Swinging Senorita did as good. All the horses did what they could tonight. Right? Okay, Smoking Hot Irish Girl made a break. Partly her blood, partly a wrinkle in her. That will be corrected. Whispering Song, I felt so bad for her because I really do feel she's an overachiever. I really do have a lot of respect for this filly, and I know there's something wrong. I want to know what happened with her tonight. We'll come back. It would be easy for me to say, oh, we'll drop her into the Buckeye. I hope her blood shows something because she is a very, very nice filly to drive. So not a great day at the stable. We continue to have a pretty good summer. Swinging Senorita was great. Smoking Hot Irish Girl was good. You guys saw that. Wasn't awesome, but good. Whispering Song was not. Gandalf made a break. Olchek wasn't good enough. Probably a little bit sick going to the Prospect Series. We can mitigate all the issues you saw tonight on the track. Everything that took place on Sunday, July the 17th, 16th, 17th, everything you saw today that didn't go right, I can tell you what happened and we can fix it. So that is our job moving forward now, is to correct the mistakes of today. 11 days from now, these fillies will go back again. We have the other fillies on Thursday. We have our Colts in Philadelphia. But for now, we have to turn tonight's page. Don't forget about it, but turn it, because we have lots more ahead of us. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I'll talk to you all very soon. I'm going to get up in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. The McDonald family, look, Addie was bouncing around crazy, and now she's out cold. The McDonald family are going to be up and at it early. I got to get my wife and my kids home, and then I have to come back in my car. For a long, long week away from the kiddies and my wife. So I will talk to you all very soon.
Have to drive me to my baseball game.
I think they already figured that out, Ollie, but thank you. I will talk to you all very soon. I know you didn't have a great night, because I didn't have a great night. It was muddy, it was horrible, the horses weren't great, but you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. Good luck to the What a Mission crew tomorrow. I'll be driving their horse, Procrastinator, tomorrow. Some other horses racing all over North America. And then, man, oh man, Wednesday through Saturday, we got tons of stake races. So we'll talk to you soon.